Hello, dear Lana. I believe that you are doing very much okay and you are set to attack this topic, which is on the future tense. I want us to have a look on the futur. That is the futur. Now, futur simply refers to the future tense. Now, let's see, how do you form the future tense? Let's just begin with it in English, right? Now, when you normally form the future tense in English, we tend to use will, right? When you're forming the future tense in English, we tend to use will or shall, right? Will or shall plus another verb, right? This is in English. When you're forming the future tense in English, we normally use will or shall, right? Examples like I will go. I will go, right? I shall or Peter shall come tomorrow. Peter shall, now of course we could use shall or will. Peter shall come tomorrow. All right. So you are saying that in English, what you simply do is you will either use shall or will plus another verb, right? Now, how about in German? How do we form this future tense in German? How do we do it in German? Now, this in German is very simple because you will simply get to begin with your subject, all right? You begin with your subject. Now, by subject, I simply mean the noun or the pronoun, der Mann, die Frau, das etc., the action doer. So you begin with the subject, and then you follow with your werden, subject, and then werden, all right? And then you proceed to write your sentence. At the end, kindly take this one very keenly. So subject, and then werden. Now, of course, you will conjugate this werden depending on your subject, right? Werde, werd, etc. It takes different endings depending on your subject. And then at the end, you will have yourself an infinitive verb. At the very end, you have yourself an infinitive verb. That's it. That is how you form the future. Subject, werden, and then at the very end, we have an infinitive verb. So you can see it behaves the same way where you will use a modal verb, right? You remember the same way you saw back in A1, how to use the modal verb? Well, that is the same way that werden is normally used in German. So let's see, how do we conjugate this werden? You're about to see that this one is normally an irregular verb. So this is how I conjugate werden from the table of conjugation. So under ich, we would say ich werde. Look at that. Ich werde, I will. And how about under do? You will. Du wirst. Ich werde, I will. Du wirst. And then sie, es, wird. Then there's the sie, werden. Look at the following. So we have ich werde, I will. Du wirst, you will. Sie, es, wird, he, she, it will. Sie werden, you will. And then the plural side, wir werden, we will. Werdet, and then sie werden. Kindly get the endings correctly. Normally, if one conjugates a verb wrongly, it brings a different message. It might mean something else. So, ich werde, I will, plural. Wir werden, we will. Du wirst, you will. Plural. Ihr werdet, you will. And then you have the er, sie, es, wird. That is he, she, it, will. Plural. Sie werden, they will. And then sie werden, you will. Sie werden, you will. All right. So that is how you get to conjugate the verb werden. Remember again, you begin with the subject, then you follow with the werden. At the end, you have an infinitive verb. All right. So let's go ahead and see some examples to emphasize on that. So in my first example, you've been given this sentence, and then they tell you to rewrite in future. Ich komme heute. Look at this one here. Ich komme heute. I am coming today. I am coming today. Now, I'd like you to say, I will come today. I will come today. Now, they clearly told us it is subject and then werden. The other verb you put at the end in its infinitive, all right? So what I would do simply, this verb here, I remove, I put at the end. Okay? And then you replace with the werden. Now my answer becomes ich. Then you have the werde. Ich werde. All right? Then there's the heute. Ich werde heute. And then kommen. Ich werde heute kommen. So you can see you only conjugate the werde, and then the other verb you put at the end in its infinitive. Ich werde heute kommen. I will come today. Now, even the word order is different from English. You might say, why don't we say ich werde kommen heute? That would be incorrect, because whenever we use werde, this other verb I have to put at the very end of the sentence. Okay? Now look at this example number 2. Look at this example number 2. It says, the weather is nice. Das Wetter ist schön. Das Wetter ist schön, right? The weather is nice. So the same thing, I remove the verb, I put it at the end. This one here is the verb ist. So you put it at the end. So now my answer becomes, so das Wetter ist schön. The weather is nice. Now I want to say, the weather will be nice. The weather will be nice. Das Wetter. Now, Wetter is under er, sie, es, right? Wetter is under er, sie, es. So you'd say, das Wetter wird. Das Wetter wird. And then you have the schön. Das Wetter wird schön. And then now the ist. Look at the ist. Now it goes back to the original. Remember, we say that the other verb coming at the end, you have to put it back in its original infinitive form. So ist, originally the verb is sein. Sein. So now the answer becomes, das Wetter wird schon sein. Das Wetter wird schon sein. The weather will be nice. So you are seeing from the two examples, the pattern is subject, then the werden, then the other infinitive verb at the end. All right? Okay, let's just give some other translations. Now, how will I say, my mother will eat? My mother will eat today. My mother will eat today. Now, I'd like you to pause right here and try. Just go ahead and pause right here and then try translating. My mother will eat today. My mother will eat today. So let's go ahead. Now, my mother is going to be meine Mutter Meine Mutter, my mother will eat today. So mother is under RZS, right? Mother is under RZS. Now I would say, meine Mutter will eat today. Meine Mutter wird. Then we have the heute. Meine Mutter wird heute. And then the essen. Meine Mutter wird heute essen. Don't say, meine Mutter wird essen heute. Meine Mutter wird heute essen. My mother will eat today. Okay, I want us to see two more examples. Let's have this one in plural. The children will not dance. The children will not dance here. The children will not dance here. Okay, once again, go ahead and pause and then try. Just pause the video here and then try that sentence. The sentence is, the children will not dance here. Go ahead and try. Pause. All right, I believe you've tried. Let's now mark together. The children will not dance here. Now, this would become, die Kinder, the children will not dance here. Die Kinder, now Kinder is plural, right? So because it's plural, we now use werden. Die Kinder werden hier. The children will not dance here. Die Kinder werden hier nicht. Die Kinder werden hier nicht tanzen. Die Kinder werden hier nicht tanzen. The children will not dance here. Okay? Okay, let's take the last example. And this one we want to say is, we will not ride the bicycles. Sorry, we will not ride the bicycle. We will not ride the bicycle. Now, there are two ways I could attack this, yeah? We will not ride the bicycle. You pause firstly and then attempt. We will not ride the bicycle. Now, this one simply becomes, wir. We will not ride the bicycle. Wir werden. Wir werden. We will not ride the bicycle. Wir werden das Fahrrad. Wir werden das Fahrrad nicht. Wir werden das Fahrrad nicht. And then the verb is fahren. Wir werden das Fahrrad nicht fahren. Okay, we will not ride the bicycle. Or you could say, there's also this other verb which is a separable verb, Radfahren, right? So that you say, wir werden nicht Radfahren. Wir werden nicht. Wir werden nicht. And then the Rad fahren. Wir werden nicht Rad fahren. All right. So you've seen from all the examples we've given, the emphasis goes back to becoming that if you are to form the future, you simply get to use subject, werden, and then at the end you have yourself an infinitive verb. All right. Now this will also apply even if I want to ask a question. Even if you want to ask a question in future, if it's a question that I want to ask, I will begin with the will. Right? So if it's a question, I would begin with the will. Werden Sie, like I will go. Will I go? Peter shall come. Shall Peter come? Right? If it's a question. Ich werde heute kommen. So question. Werde ich heute kommen? Will I come today? Das Wetter wird schon sein. Das Wetter wird schon sein. So question. Wird das Wetter schon sein? Wird das Wetter schon sein? Will the weather be nice? Meine Mutter wird heute essen. My mother will eat today. Will my mother eat today? Wird meine Mutter heute essen? Alright? Oh, die Kinder werden hier nicht tanzen. The children will not dance here. Will the children, werden die Kinder hier nicht tanzen? Werden die Kinder hier nicht tanzen? Alright? Wir werden das Fahrrad nicht fahren. We will not ride the bicycle. Werden wir das Fahrrad nicht fahren? Werden wir das Fahrrad nicht fahren? Etc, etc. Alright? Now, I believe up until that point, you'll have now seen on how to form the future tense. I would like you to go ahead and form as much examples as you possibly can. Just form as many examples as you possibly can. Yeah? We will travel tomorrow. They will eat here. My mother will buy a car. Try and form as many of the examples as you possibly can. All right. So as we conclude, this was on the Futur I. When we meet in the other class, we will be seeing on the Futur I. This is the present future. All right, present future. In the next class, I'll be showing you on the Futur I. Well then, tschüss.